I want to thank everybody for being here. I specifically want to thank my good friend Bud Laura and is my very good friend David Hoyne for their partnership throughout the pandemic. During the pandemic, we would have weekly, if not bi-weekly, calls during some of the toughest hours. Specifically during we will all remember these zones that were created. Well, we won't go there, but the yellow, orange, and red zones that specifically impacted our hospitality industry very unfairly. And we always said that this is going to take a while, as David and so many business owners like David. 2020 was a wash. 2021, we're trying to get them back. And so we've proposed in various ways both short and long-term solutions to help these businesses. Specifically, we have two very large proposals over at the county legislature now that we think are going to get moving now with a new aquarium that will draw hundreds of thousands of visitors in this community. And the economic impact will be seen in buildings just like this one. In addition to that, a sports tourism project, which will do the same. But today, those are our long-term stimulus projects for this community and for this industry. But today we're here to launch our second phase of Keeping It Local. And our nationally recognized Keeping It Local, Bud. So certainly this program's been replicated in other counties in New York, but also throughout the country. And today we have a specific theme, being that it's Veterans Day. Last week we talked about Operation Greenlight that we have going on in the community. The first piece of this is we are going to be donating $1,025 vouchers to Clear Path for Veterans for a giveaway on Wednesday, November 10th. And so it's the least we can do for our veterans to say thank you in a small way. Second, we will be offering $400,000 worth of vouchers that will be available to the general public starting at noon on Thursday, November 11th, Veterans Day. You can go online at www.ongoved.com/keepingitlocal. There will be a limit of 4 gift certificates per email. There's no dollar limit on the gift certificates, but 4 per email address, so 4 per person will be there. And then in addition to that, we will have $75,000 worth of vouchers that will be available to seniors starting at 10 a.m. on Friday, November 12th by calling 211. There will be a limit of 4 gift certificates per caller. Those that do not have access to a computer will have vouchers mailed to them, and we'll be coordinating with folks with that. If a restaurant wants to be added, the link will be open on Monday, today at 11:30, and it will remain open until Wednesday at noon. And then if a restaurant wants to be removed, we reached out to them already asking them to let us know if they want to be removed. So we're really excited about this. We know from the last $500,000 that went into the economy from all the feedback that we at least got a 3x from participation and people coming. Obviously, if you get a $50 gift card and that turns into $100, depends on how many people you're feeding. But if it's me and my children, certainly I spend more than $100. But we're really excited about it, and we're really excited to be here because these two guys were with us, and they were such great leaders throughout the pandemic. So saying that, happy to take any questions.
Ryan, you said restaurants can opt out. Does that mean those who were in the previous are by default in and have to opt out?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And how many, have a rough idea how many were still in?
100? Well over 100, yeah.
And where's the source of the 400,000?
So in our 2021 budget, we had money put aside for pandemic response and recovery. So it'll come from the 2021 budget.
This is not stimulus money.
No.
I think last time for seniors interested, there was a phone number that you can call? Is that happening again?
Correct. So 211 will be the number for seniors, and our team there will be working with them. And again, if they don't have computers where we set up for them electronically, we'll mail them hard copies.
And that's a separate allocated amount, right?
Correct. $75,000 we're setting aside for seniors.
What's that website again for people to?
www.ongoved.com. So that's our economic development page, and then it's /keepingitlocal/.
You obviously heard a lot from businesses prior. That's why you're wanting to do this again and help along businesses further.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is John, we're open now, right? And we're learning how to live through a pandemic. But I think we need to keep reminding the public to support our local businesses, because these guys took a huge loss last year. And so they're just coming back. It will take years for some of these businesses to make up the losses in 2020. So we need to continue to do our part to stimulate the local economy and to continue to make smart investments to drive more and more people here into our downtown and into our restaurants throughout Onondaga County, because we need this. One of the big things when we're going out, and I just did a call earlier today, and with a big prospect for convention business, and what they talk about, one of the big things is, talk to me about your restaurants. What are my people going to do when we're here? Where are they going to go? So everything's cyclical. We run government on sales tax. Our restaurants are a huge generator of sales tax. So this is the right thing to do for our partners in the hospitality industry, but it's also going to help us as well. We'll be making, this will trigger spending. That spending will come back around and into the county coffers.
It's pretty well known, a lot of the stuff that's going on with restaurants now, staffing shortages, supply chain. Is there anything else the county can do? I know it's a big world out there, but is there anything else the county can do to help restaurants in those issues?
Bud, David, I don't know if I know.
I think we're very lucky with Ryan, with his leadership, that anything that kind of comes down the line that he is advocating for us, and we can do with lots of help with different bills that are being passed and everything else. So it's you look forward, you want to be positive, and I think things like this help us immensely.
And I think to David's point too is there's a lot of different things going on at the federal level where certain restaurants, for different reasons, haven't received the help that they need. And again, we're a voice and an advocate for any issues as well.
Are you making your voice heard as far as a new round of restaurant revitalization?
Yeah, I think that's something that is certainly in everybody's interest to get through Congress. Any other questions?
David, can you kind of tell us where you're at, and if you don't mind stepping to the podium, like in a year over year, you've been here for longer than a couple of years, but where are you at numbers wise, looking at some of these big weekends, homecoming weekend, things like that? How close you guys being back to normal?
I would say since up to Labor Day, things were going well. Then we kind of took a step back, I think, a little bit, just with the Delta variant. But now, in the last 2 to 3 weeks, you can see once again that people are coming back out. Things like the Landmark Theater with their events have certainly helped us. People's attitudes, just everything, I think, has been very positive moving forward now. We're lucky in that we are in a vibrant area, but I speak for other restaurants certainly that are in the outer areas that are still struggling today, and even closer than the outer areas. And they will decide in the next winter here as to whether they stay open or whether they close. So it's still a tough road to move down, especially when you don't know what is coming next. So that's the biggest thing, I feel. Staff-wise, we are lucky that we're almost there. Kitchen was the last part of it. But there's still a competition out there, certainly, for people either to have them come in and or to hire them. We are definitely paying a lot more. Everybody is above minimum wage easily. And, you learn quite a lot from things like this. You learn about your people and how you can take care of them. the bad ones, I think, make the news. There are a lot of quality restaurants, quality ownerships that are taking care of their people quietly.
Other questions? Any off topics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I have one about the new testing site at Heritage Lincoln. How's that going, and is there any potential of maybe expanding those hours? How's it been?
Yeah, so we do. So it's been going well, and essentially we look to expand hours when the demand is exceeding, and we're filling things up every day. And thankfully, right now we're not there. I think that's kind of a sign of where we are, kind of with the virus. We were up here, now we're kind of right here, and we're kind of stabilized here, and we'll see what this the vaccination process does for 5 to 11-year-olds, and hopefully we'll take another step backwards. But of course, we'll expand hours if the demand is there.
So have a lot of people been signing up for this one specific spot?
Yeah, we get constant flow, but it's not maximized right now, which is good. We're going to keep the infrastructure in place, planning for the worst, obviously, but right now we are our testing capacity at our sites. We still have more capacity to give.
Not too long ago, urgent care, specifically Wellnow, were really overwhelmed with people trying to get either a symptomatic test or whatnot. So have you heard from urgent cares, and how are they doing?
Yeah. Hopefully this has alleviated some of that pressure. I haven't heard the same outcries that we did 3-4 weeks ago that you're referencing. The other thing too is on we've adjusted some of the quarantines related to our own school-based testing with our pool, so that kind of alleviated a little bit of pressure as well. But again, I think it's where we are with the variant. Things have calmed down a little bit. They're still there. We're still higher than where we want to be, but we're in better shape than where we once were, and that's going to show with the testing demand.
The first county clinic is today at 1. Those slots filled up within just a couple of hours. What are you hearing from parents about the demand for that? 'Cause I know you guys opened up more slots after the first original link went live.
We did, and so the demand obviously was there, and so we've expanded hours already. We're probably going to expand them more this week. In addition to some of the vaccination clinics going on at the city school district, we have other school districts that are actually scheduled now, and we'll get those out to the media with all of the various clinics that we have. But overall, the demand's there, which is good. The little ones are a little different, right? You can do about 100 a day right now with the hours we have. You want to take your time. It's a little different. I was down there this morning, and I saw a couple little kids that I knew, which was nice to see them get their shots. But we're going to continue to have to, as we learn through these first few clinics about, just like we did before. If you remember when we started this, when we were at when we were in the War Memorial, we had a big space, but you learn through your first clinics logistically how you can make things better and make things more efficient, and then once you do that, you can expand more and more slots. So it will be a process, but I think in the next 3 to 4 weeks we'll get through this population quickly, and we'll learn on the way.
Do you know how many people are getting a shot today at the Civic Center?
120 people. There you go.
What's the status with the schools? I know you just mentioned, the ball is getting rolling with having clinics at those school-based clinics. So just, can you give us any update?
Yeah, we have. So I know that there's other districts that are scheduled for this week. I want to say.
We have 3 different schools, the city schools, and we're going to BSM.
Yeah. So, and we're the pharmacy. So remember the logistics of this. We have only so many people that can actually administer the shots. So we're working with Wegmans, Kinney, our personnel, all to try to schedule this out in a pretty robust plan. So we should have the plan laid out and pretty much confirmed for this week, next week, and the following week. This won't just be a 1-week ordeal. And then we'll get that out. And in addition to that, remember, we do have some pediatricians that are administering shots as well, and pharmacies.
How has the participation been with pediatricians? I know you said that more were registering to give the shot. Has that been happening over the weekend as well?
Yeah, I haven't heard about anything over the weekend, but certainly I think the ones that are getting supply from the state, they're partaking, they're scheduling appointments. That's not the essentially best site for mass vaccination, but that's what many parents are comfortable with. And so pharmacy appointments have been open as well. Those have gone quickly. This is going to happen for a little bit, but we're going to continue to expand our own operation. And certainly once these school districts, once we can tell the public that the school districts are scheduled, I think you'll see a lot of parents wanting to have their kids go to the school. And then again, the parents and guardian do need to be with the kids.
Do you anticipate any shortages in supplies once the demand really gets going?
Yeah, I don't. I think I think overall the supplies coming in, and at this point you're talking about a younger demographic, so you want to learn through these first few clinics and see how it goes. But we aren't going to run out of vaccine this week, and again, we'll get more vaccine into the community again next week. So this won't be a situation that we were looking at last February. Other questions? Thanks, everybody.